This is some of the most tense television I've ever experienced. The weatherman said to dress for the mid-80s. Double tap that subscribe and like button if you've rode in a truck bed growing up. It's weird when you realize we are the last generation on this earth to know what life was like before social media. Yeah, that's really sad when you think about it. We didn't have fidget spinners. We had balls on strings that could knock you out, called clackers. Who else had a stage in their cafeteria? I think these were mandatory back then. Every school I remember always had a stage in the cafeteria. 40 years ago today, this young man was robbed of All Valley Karate Tournament Championship thanks to an illegal kick to the face. In high school, our gym teacher asked us who we thought was the smartest teacher in the school. We guessed the AP Chem teacher, the pre-calc teacher, the AP Physics teacher, etc. He goes, "Nope, it's me, because I get paid the same as those guys, and I play dodgeball all day." When you look at it that way, they were the smartest ones. Don't worry about getting older. You're still gonna do dumb stuff, only slower. How many of you guys remember Chef Boyardee Pac-Man edition? We were really sliding down baking sheets. They're not wrong. Me at 18. The radio station is playing my jams. Me at 25. The bar is playing my jams. Me now. The grocery store is playing my jams. Sad, but true. Remember Chucky? This is him now. This was our water park. How many of you guys had one of the sprinklers where it had the top of it that spun around? We all know the strawberry candy, and I've had some memes about it on past episodes, but I made the comment that even to this day, I still didn't know what it was called. But there was a couple of you that put in the comments section that these are called strawberry bonbons. I'd never heard that before, but now I know. Well, I just wanted to thank you guys for telling me, and I'd say a lot of other people here on the channel, what the actual name of these are. Now that we know the name of them, we can order them online. The ultimate 80s coffee table. An ottoman, surface for candy dishes or appetizers, cabinet to store miscellaneous things, and general thing to run into. Other than storing some board games or puzzles in the bottom there, I think you ran into it more than you used it for anything else. They say she never leaves the house. It almost looks like that someone actually designed that tape measure just to look like Mr. T. Them. The world is falling apart. Gen X. Have you ever had a bologna potato chip sandwich? I had a peppered turkey and potato chip sandwich just the other day. The 80s. Many memories, no evidence. When's the last time that any of you guys had Tang? I don't know if they sell it now, but back about 6 or 7 years ago, we bought up a couple cases of Tang. It's in a newer style canister, but as long as they're sealed and you keep it dry, that stuff will last about forever. No character in the history of TV cried more than Charles Ingalls did from 74 to 84. As far as what was portrayed happening on there, he had a lot of good reason to. Our parents in the 70s and 80s. Who remembers Dynamints? I actually Googled to see if Tic Tac bought out Dynamints or vice versa, but apparently that's not the case. However, I did find out that there's people actually selling the original Dynamints on eBay. This is a pack of Dynamints that's brand new and never opened. $89.10 plus $3.75 shipping. These little freezer pops from the Chinese place are awful. Do not recommend. If you just made them a lot longer, they do look just like those popsicles. Tip for students going off to college. Study 80s and 90s pop culture, particularly Ferris Bueller, Princess Bride, Simpsons Season 2 through 5. Your Gen X and early Millennial professors will try to connect with you through these, and will be confused and sad when you stare blankly back at them. Not joking. Well, if nothing else, at least they can find out what a good movie actually is. What's the most boomer complaint you have? I want a physical menu at a restaurant. None of this QR code bull. I think most of us Gen X can completely agree with this. Do I know how to use QR codes? Sure. Do I want to look up a QR code just to be able to order my food? No. If I am already in a restaurant and I have to look up a QR code just to know what the menu is, I'm probably just going to get up and go someplace else. Or at the very least, I won't be back. Now, if I want to order food ahead of time for carryout, and a restaurant has an app, or where you can order through their website, then that's fine. That I don't mind, because that can actually save me time, instead of having to call to order. I came across this news article the other day, and I just had to include it in here. Smiling robot face is made from living human skin cells. A smiling face made from living human skin could one day be attached to a humanoid robot, allowing machines to emote and communicate in a more lifelike way, says researchers. All of us here knows exactly where this is going. And if you didn't already know, the Navy has the Skynet satellites up, so it's just a matter of time. Remember when you could lay in one position for hours? Now you have to rotate like a rotisserie chicken every 15 minutes or a hip hurts. "1984. I can't wait to see what the world is like in 40 years. 2024. Well, 1984 has almost been fully implemented." If you know what they're referring to, drop it in the comments. Did you have a Teddy Rumpkin? No, but my grandma bought me a talking monkey named Montgomery. He doesn't talk anymore, but I actually still have him. when you visit a museum and you see the computer you used in grade school on display. Yep, there's starting to be a lot of things like that these days. This is what happens when Gen X is playing around on AI image generators. All these young people out there making sure they have the coolest water bottle. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I don't think I drank water until I was 30. Sure we did. We all drank water out of the hose. And it tasted better than the water out of the kitchen sink. This Elmo arrived in the mail like someone in Sesame Street Mafia was trying to send a message. And if you didn't know about the Sesame Street Mafia, a lot of them were hidden behind the scenes. But there was this guy. Do you remember Burger King in the 80s? Like everything else, it was so much better. Even Burger King in the 90s wasn't bad. They still had some decent food. These days, though, the company has run their restaurants into the ground. The last couple of times that I did go to a Burger King, it was some of the worst food and service you could get. We actually waited over half an hour just to get our meal, and we were the only customers there. Yeah, we all know who really beat Thanos. I just had to include this one. I thought that was actually pretty funny. The Board of Education. I'd take the DMC over the Cybertruck any day of the week. Saw a news article the other day about a guy who bought a Cybertruck and now had decided he was going to sell it, and how Tesla was somehow preventing him from being able to sell the truck. So now, not only do we not own anything because the government owns it, but now the corporations that you bought it from still own it. I know they do some of the same sort of things with the high-end sports cars, but still yet, just another reason why I never won any of them. Transparent tech needs to make a comeback. The kids living in today's world will never know the struggle. This is near a 22 in the right hands. Not far from it. Imagine a Mad Max war convoy with this in it. Which 80s car would you choose? There's a lot of nice 80s cars, actually. I like the early 80s Vets. But as far as from the cars here in this picture, I'm assuming the top right is a Lamborghini. The only reason you'd want it is for resale. Then, of course, you have the DeLorean. The only bad thing about it is that the windows don't roll down. But still. Then you have the Trans Am, or even the Camaro, which in my opinion would have been the last model year of a Camaro that I would have actually liked to have owned. Who else did this? I think almost everyone. Who else remembers Woodsy Owl? If you know what commercials he played on, drop it in the comments. This may be the greatest car mat setup of all time. Well, see, you don't even have to carry a map with you. Boys from 1984 Sears Wish Book. Did you guys know that the Sears Wish Book catalogs are actually a collectible now. There's some of them that sells for quite a bit of money. Scooby-Doo taught us that the real monsters were always human. That's true. I could really go for one of these bad boys right now. Only if it comes with a wooden spoon, though. The wood is half the flavor. I remember the taste of the wooden spoon more than I do the taste of the ice cream. If you can hear this picture, we can be friends. Chuck Norris was the only man who rocked a mullet long past the 80s, and no one ever dared question him. Oh, so this place is like haunted. Yeah, apparently so. And I'll end this episode with this. We dreamed of the greatest times life had to offer without realizing we were already living them. Yeah, if we could have only understood it back then. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. If you like this video, click on one of these to watch more. I thank you all for watching. Take care, stay safe. This is Akorn, over and out.